Well, Cynthia, all right. I think it's been 2.5 years since you last fought in front of fans. So now, what are the emotions now, knowing that this fight was booked at one point, but now it's rescheduled for a sold-out crowd in San Diego?
I mean, at first I was bummed out that my fight, fell through at the time. But once I realized that I was going to be fighting in San Diego, which is also my home state, I'm really stoked about that because I get to be closer to all of my Latino people. So that's going to give me a lot of motivation to hear all their, all the noise and all their energy.
When Nina was in here, she said it was important for her to rebook this fight because she said it was just fair to you after she pulled out after the weigh-ins. Was it important to make this fight again, or did you just want to get back in there regardless of who it was?
I think it was the same thing for her. I think, we were both got ready for the fight, and I have a lot of respect for her too. And I think just given the situation where she just kind of got sick just on the night before the fight. So I feel it was only fair for us to just get rebooked, and I was okay with that.
And a lot of people are going to bring up your last few performances, same as her, but you guys have essentially fought like the top 5 of 2 divisions. So what do you make of her as an opponent and the skills that she brings in on Saturday?
I mean, she's a very tough opponent. She's been fighting the top 10 just how I have, and so people do look at that, the losses and stuff like that, but we've been fighting the best for, I think I got into the UFC at 3-0. I was 6 months of a professional. Within being a professional for a year, I was ranked number 6 in the world. So I've been fighting the best since so everybody's seen my professional career event, unravel on the biggest stage of the world. So it makes it kind of difficult, but I think this is important for me. I think it's going to bring out the best of me. We all show that all Mexican fighters, we always rise to the occasion. No matter how many times we fall, we're always going to come back stronger. And I feel that way about Nina too. I think she's got now the extra mom powers. We're having their daughter, and I'm sure she's got a lot of motivation. Having her wife win the championship just 2 weeks ago. So it makes for a great fight.
And Nina's, of course, moving up from strawweight to flyweight, a move you made in the past. Dustin Poirier once said that it took him a while to feel like a lightweight when he moved up rather than just a featherweight that wasn't cutting weight. So I'm curious, how long did it take for you to feel like an actual flyweight in there, and what are you expecting from Nina when she fights?
Well, I think we're not going to be very much different in size, which is given I think it's going to make it where we're not going to be super giant flyweights. I'm still not a huge flyweight. I think the weight cuts are kind of pretty much a lot easier than they are at strawweight, but it's still a little bit of a cut. My plans are still to eventually go down to strawweight, so I did get a little bit bigger to be at flyweight, but we're going to work down to get down at 115. And I think this is going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be hard to tell whether I settled in as a flyweight or not in this one, just because Nina is coming up as well. So I feel like just like her and I, it might take a little bit to actually settle in the flyweight and build all the muscle and feel just as strong as the rest of them.
I did want to ask about that, Cynthia, because you had announced on social media like, hey, 115. But then even previously when this fight was booked, it was going to be at 125. So can I ask, like, just what made you change to say, hey, like, I will take these at flyweight and I'm not going to maybe prioritize the move back to 115?
Well, actually, I was originally booked to fight Brianna Van Buren June 4th, and that one was going to be at 115. She pulled out, and then we spent a couple of weeks looking for an opponent, and Nina's name came up, and I was like, yeah, I'm down to fight Nina. And it was like, oh, well, Nina wants to fight at 125, though. And I'm like, you know what, this is an exception. I was planning to move down to 115, but with it being Nina, who was previously a 115er, I was like, I'll do this. I'll fight with her at 125.
And is the plan still to start doing everything to make the move back down, or is it going to be like opponent by opponent basis kind of deal?
I think what's going to happen is we're going to get through this fight first, and then we're going to go back to the PI and rerun the test and do a practice weight cut and making sure that I'm going to be healthy enough to make the descent back to 115. But the plan is to get down to 115 before the end of the year.
Now, there's obviously a lot of Mexican talent on the card. You are Hispanic American. Do you feel a little bit of this momentum, not just with the fans, but also like, get the UFC back to Mexico kind of deal? Because it feels like a lot of the fighters is like, hey, just bringing the UFC back to their market could be a big deal too if they make an impact Saturday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think we already make a big impact given why there's going to be UFC PI in Mexico. So I think it also motivates me. Obviously, being in California, being close to Mexico, you know, definitely I'm gonna, you know, feel out of my heart, have my family there, which is gonna make it more exciting. And you know, I'm really stoked. I'm excited to represent all the Mexicans.